All right, the Pentagon announcing a brand new detail on the damage that has been done in Iran's nuclear program after the historic strikes targeting their facilities last week.
Our assessment of the battle damage around Fordow, Nantes, and Isfahan remains unchanged.
Assessments by this department think it's been degraded or delayed by 1 to 2 years?
I think we're thinking probably closer to 2 years. We believe that Iran's nuclear capability has been severely degraded, perhaps even their ambition to build a bomb.
Yeah, former Secretary of State for George W. Bush and former Naval Intel officer Robert Charles joins me now. Robert, when we look at this, it's obviously this discrepancy over how bad it's broken there at the facility was enough for the Pentagon to come out and do a press release to answer questions with the Secretary of Defense and Chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff. I spoke to some Israeli defense officials off the record, and they said, listen, it's much less about how destructive it was and much more about the message it sent. What's your take?
Yeah, I mean, I think in a general sense, this is what leadership and deterrence and success look like. You know, we really are in a position now when Iran and its leadership, its mullahs, need to come to their senses. They have been severely damaged. Obviously, the program is not in a position now to present a threat to Israel, to Europe, or to the United States, obviously, for years. And I think what they'll do is they'll get underneath that rubble heap and they'll try to figure out if there's any of their enriched uranium left, and then they'll come to some internal decision about whether they want to still pretend they're going to go after a nuclear weapon. I think the resolve that President Trump showed, the resolve that Israel showed, is something that is unprecedented, at least in terms of stopping a nuclear program. We had negotiated years ago with Libya. We had other countries that were dissuaded. This is an Islamic revolutionary country. They're not in the business of making peace. They're in the business of spreading their Islamic radical ideas. And I think what we see out of this right now is an opportunity for Iran to join the community of nations and decide they're not going to be or aspire to be a nuclear power. If they don't do that, they will be hit again and again and again until either their leadership disappears, climbs on a plane to Russia, or ultimately they come to the conclusion that it's not in their best interest to keep pursuing this. I will say, as an aside, you've got a parallel situation going on with Hamas, where really Iran was the backer of Hamas, as they are of Hezbollah and a number of other terrorist organizations, and every single one of these organizations are right now on their back. So I think it's a very important moment in world history where resolve is showing that you can change the entire picture very quickly.
Yeah, it certainly helps to be decisive, and taking action the way President Trump really has been something to see as someone who fought for 10 of those 20 years in Iraq and Afghanistan. Robert, thanks for joining us.
Yes. Thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.
देख ले भाई, तेरे सामने है, गेम खुला हुआ है, ठीक है मेरा, तूने बोला है तो मैं अभी टेस्ट कर रहा हूँ, ठीक है, गेस्ट आईडी के सामने देख ले, टाइम 12:18, अभी का ही टाइम है, ठीक है, 4 जुलाई, ठीक है, चल अब जो बोला ना मैं सही देख, अगर ये बैक मार दिया ना मेरे को, मैं मान लूँगा, ठीक है, चलो। देखना मेरी ब्लैकलिस्ट हुई है नहीं है, मैं इसकी फिर हिस्ट्री भी दिखा दूंगा कि मेरी कितने दिन से आईडी खुली पड़ी है जस्ट टेस्टिंग के लिए। बाकी मेरे को गेम खेलना नहीं आता तो गेम प्ले मत ही देख कोई, बस देखो कि बैक कर रहा है कि नहीं, ठीक है, प्रूफ दे रहा हूँ, गेम प्ले मत जज करो। टाइम देख चुके भाई, 12:18 हो गया, ठीक है, 3% बैटरी है, तब भी जस्ट दिखा रहा हूँ। तेरा वीसी मैक मेरे को सही करना पड़ेगा भाई, क्या सिस्टम था, बाकी मेरा कुछ नहीं हो रहा।